Hey, Tony, what is meant by the term UX? I see that around. What's UX?
UX is user experience. And to define that, that is just literally the experience that your user has when they're viewing your website.
Okay, so why is that important?
It's really important because you want your users to have a really pleasant experience. It's like, to be a metaphor, it's like if you go to the grocery store or a restaurant, this is a restaurant, restaurant's a good metaphor. You go to a restaurant and you have really bad service, the waiter's not coming around in time, your food comes out late, it's cold, that's bad user experience. Good user experience, the waiter is attentive to your needs, but not over attentive. Your food comes out on time, it's fresh, it's hot, it's delicious. That's what you want your website to be. You want your website to have a good user experience so that people will come back to it.
Oh, I got you. Okay, so I assume things like easy to find or it's clear where they're gonna go. All
Yeah.
right. What are some of the tools you can use to help you know if your website does have a good user experience?
So there's a couple of things that you can do. One very easy thing to do that doesn't cost you anything is to have a friend or family member just view your website and just like ask them about it and like tell them to be honest with you. If it's just an easy to understand and decipher process. Some more technical terms tools you can use is heat mapping. There's a couple of different tools you can use that we use Hotjar. But heat mapping will tell you the data of exactly where people are clicking, how often, where people are coming from mobile versus desktop views versus tablet views, how far people are scrolling down on your page. There's a lot of data that you can take and implement to figure out, all right, what are people looking for when they come to my website, and how can I make it easier for them to find that, which enhances their user experience.
Oh, so with that data, I assume analytics could go hand in hand with that heat mapping to make decisions, right?
Exactly. So you'll know where your users are coming from, what links they're clicking on, what pages of your website they're looking for the most. You may have two different products, and people are going for product A, 50% more than they're going for product B. So you know which one to push.
Okay. And do you think user experience is kind of a one-time thing you do maybe when you're building your website, or is this kind of something you should be doing frequently?
You should absolutely be doing it ongoing. It is ever evolving, ever changing. There's a lot of things when you first put together a website that you can think of and assume and make calculated assumptions about, but that will change over time, and users will show you that data. The only way to get that data is to actually understand what your users are doing. As business owners, a lot of time people say like, "Oh, I want this to happen. I want this to happen," but then sometimes users turn around and they do the opposite action. So it's really good to know that and be able to figure that out, grow, and advance your business based off of those interactions.
Right. What you're saying is that you could think that people are behaving in a certain way on your site, but then you find that, oh wow, that people are doing other stuff, and then maybe you can capitalize on that, huh?
Exactly, they can be doing something completely different that you didn't expect, and capitalizing on that can mean greater gains for your business.
Okay. And we're talking about websites here, but user experience is one of those terms that can be for, the physical experience when they're coming into a location. Apps obviously would be a big part of user experience, right?
Yeah, it kind of boils down to customer service. I used the restaurant metaphor before. Good customer service is going to have people coming back, and so it's the same thing you want to think about in person as to in your digital presence as well. So good customer service on your website is having a good user experience. You want to make that positive. You want to make that easy. You want to make it fun if possible for people to get to what they need, get to what they're looking for. Make a purchase if that's possible, or a commitment to you, schedule an appointment or something. You need to have a good user experience for that. If it's a poor experience, the data shows that most people will only spend a couple of seconds on a homepage looking for what they need, and if they can't find it, they bounce. So having a good user experience, making that easy for them, is makes a world of difference.
All right, cool. Thanks, Tony.
You're welcome.